offense. So that's when you have two different setters who set, and they set while they're in the back row, so you can always have 3 attackers in the front row at a time. And so she's also going to get back to setting in transition now. So you watch her transition in there to set, and she sets the ball over on 2 as a free ball. That's the type of stuff we're talking about. You have to be able to better the ball. You can't give Santiago Canyon a free ball on a good dig, or else that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, Juarez could not handle that one down the line on the line shot. And Santiago Canyon 5 points away from taking set 1.
That's a better set.
That is Powers unloading on the pin.
Oh, you've got to take a swing at a ball like that. I guess not.
It will rattle around and drop on Golden West's side of the net. Hennessy could not up that.
So Santiago Canyons has the advantage right now just because they're able to keep the ball antenna, netting with the hand, all those little volleyball rules that, you know, you have to have discipline in your training. You have to have discipline in the way you play, and Santiago Canyon's been able to show a little bit more discipline. Look at the way they're set up. Everybody bent, everybody in a good stance that leads to good passes like that, set outside, and a hard hit, I'm sure, for a kill.
That was Feliga Michaela hammering it through the block.
Yeah, she was a fun player to work with. And Alex Griffiths was right. I mean, she's received the majority of the sets right now, and she's done good things with them thus far. It has her team up on a 10-point lead, 22-12.
And a chance to extend that lead from the end line here. Goes right at Juarez.
That's a good set.
Back set to Powers. Change of pace, and it was able to be returned. Botani is pleading for a touch, but none coming.
No. So another good example of the little minuscule errors. Santiago Canyon is just doing a better job keeping the ball in play. Folinga serves another ball. I'm sure she'll keep it right in play. It's just about consistency. There's an overpass.
Overpass.
They keep the ball in play.
Zumbeck able to clean up the mess in the middle. But you talked about it, Chris, the aggressiveness that you're seeing on Santiago Canyon, that kind of comes across in their confidence level.
For sure. I mean, it's tough, you know, when you don't have your primary setter. You're dealing with the person who's supposed to be touching the ball every play, and because they're not a primary setter, the ball's in a different spot every time you're getting ready to hit, so it's hard to build continuity. And if you look at Santiago Canyon, they lose that point, but look how quickly they set up. Like, look how much order they have on their side of the net. Everybody's looking at the server, ready to rock and roll, while Golden West, you know, they're turning their neck back to the server. There's just a little bit, and serving the ball wide that way. So Santiago Canyon takes the first set.
That's a service error, and for Golden West, they had 7 service errors last match, 0 aces. That was a sweep. They fell to Fullerton, and they have an uphill climb here after dropping first frame.
Yeah, it's tough. It's real tough, and I just want our audience to have a good understanding of that. 7 matches is not a joke in junior college sports. 7 matches is half of your regular season. So being able to come back after losing 7 straight matches and have the confidence that we're able to win is not an easy thing to do, but all it takes in junior college volleyball is one 5-point spark. One good 5-point spark can bring life to the team. It can give you the belief that you can win, and it can carry out throughout your own gym.
It seems too, Chris, and you obviously have a lot of experience with coaching and dealing with all sorts of different levels of play, but sometimes I feel like it starts with a belief. Like, you got to obviously have the talent, but you can maybe compensate for not so much, not saying that either team doesn't have more than another, by, though, believing you're going to win and coming out with that confidence and just kind of like a fake it till you make it kind of thing.
No doubt. I mean, everything in life really, but especially sports. Think of how much of it has so much to do with the mental. I mean, how many physical athletes do we know? People who are fast, strong, jump high, hit hard, whatever it is, and they fall to people who are less physical than them because that person's experience and their belief. So this is what we're seeing. If you look at these different huddles right now, pay close attention as we have the camera panning on Santiago Canyon's huddle. Everybody has their eyes locked into the coach. Everybody is paying close attention to what's going on and what the plan is. Or if you look at Golden West huddle, you got girls, you know, snapping at their fingernails, You got a couple people turning their heads, drinking water, talking to different coaches. Everybody's not locked into the same thing. So that's a place where good senior leadership can happen, or good setter leadership can happen. It can't all be the coaches having to redirect people. When you're dealing with young ladies or young men playing at this level, there's got to be a camaraderie amongst the team where everybody is bought into the same belief, like you said.
Rustler's got a tough game, Chris, next. They will be at Irvine Valley College. And just a quick check on them, they have won 39 matches in a row. So that's what is next for Golden West after tonight's showdown.
Yeah, Irvine Valley has a real clean system running over there. They've got Tom Pestalisi running that program over there, and he is just an absolute legend in volleyball in general, but especially women's junior college volleyball. He puts out consistent teams, great teams. The girls enjoy playing for him. It goes to show why they'd have a record like that. You said 39 straight?
39. They went 27-0 last year and are out to 12-0 this year.
That is just ridiculous.
Ranked number 1 in the state in the top 25.
Man, shout out to Tom Pestalisi doing his thing over there. Yeah, I've been fortunate to have the opportunity to be inside of that gym and spend some time working with Tom, and I even took a class for him when I was working on my master's degree in coaching. I went to Irvine Valley to take Tom's volleyball class, and so he's a good guy, runs a good program. But back to the action here. We've got Santiago Canyon serving it up 0-0, and my gut's telling me that they're going to get out to a fast start here in set 2.
They have to. If you're just joining us, 25-13, Santiago Canyon victorious in set 1. Marissa Pouet from the service line. There is Holmes, dug up at the cross court by Pouet. Outside set to Zumbeck, threading it through, and it falls down.
So point number 1, Santiago Canyon is likely to keep their same game plan, keep the ball in the court, set Falinga Michaela a bunch of balls when she's in the front row, and dig any balls that Golden West hits because their sets are 10 feet off the net.
On 2, that one is sent over.
Free ball transition.
High ball to Powers. Soft block coming to the Santiago Canyon side.
Deep to the corner. Nice flat attack.
Just mistiming that approach. That was Aaron Haggerty, the middle blocker, who has come in here.
So if you see, I think Golden West has moved Holly Hennessy back to the outside position. Didn't go well for them in the first set with her setting, but I think she's a dynamic player for Golden West, so the coach decided to move her to the left pin, as you see her there at left front right now, about to block.
Backside to Zumbeck. That one flutters out of bounds.
So it's getting pretty clear to me why her coach would try her out at the setting position. She's got some good leadership qualities, and if I watch her in these last couple points, she's engaged, she's attacking, she's definitely not demoralized from losing that first set. Ooh.
Big swing.
She's going to get set right here. Let's see what kind of attack she takes. She takes an aggressive attack. That's more than Golden West could say in the first set.
Powers tracking it down. Zumbeck fires it right at
Holmes. I don't think you call that. That's tough. I mean, that's a really nice dig and a good transition setup. So unfortunate for that Golden West setter, but it is what it is. Santiago Canyon 2-2.
All square at 2. Stacy Zumbeck, number 23. Ready to send this ball Golden West way.
Holly Hennessy gets another crack at it.
But like you said, Chris, off the net, and that one's steering off course.
Yeah.
It's hard, really, is it, to really get a flow going offensively when the sets are not maybe where you want them to be?
Oh, my gosh. It's everything in volleyball at this level. You know, when you're playing in the juniors, you know, having somebody who can put the ball in the air is nice enough. But when you get into the college game, sets not being located well completely changes attackers' rhythm. It changes their options. That is an early timeout.
An early – now, pretty early per se. Why? What is the argument for doing it right then?
I think we're getting off to a similar start as we did in the first set. It's It's sets that are not located well. Hitters don't have the opportunity to get their feet to the ball, but secondarily, attackers not bettering the ball. So if you get a set that's 8 feet off the net, that doesn't give you license to hit the ball out or hit it in the net or hit it low. If you get a ball that's low and inside, it doesn't give you license to hit it into the block or hit it into the net. Like, you have to be able to better the ball in all sports, but volleyball, it's at every level. That is the primary thing, being able to better the ball. If somebody crushes a ball at you, can you pop a dig up inside the court? And once that dig's up inside the court, can you put a set back in system? Once you have a set back in system or not in system, can you locate the ball to put some kind of stress on the defense? So Golden West is the opposite of bettering their attacks or bettering the ball right now. They make a pretty good dig, and the set's tough and the attack's tougher.
Coach Lawler picked up this program in 2009. Has had winning seasons up until last year when he went 13-13. This year might be tough to get back to 500. At 3-10 overall coming into this match. And out of the timeout, Stacy Zumbeck from the service line.
Let's see what she serves up. That's a pretty good looking serve. Oh, the set over. Falinga's on it.
That was Brazelton on the dump.
And that set was similar to the one that the ref called on Golden West.
Outside to Powers on the perimeter. Blocked back. Offensive rebound here. Hennessy driving that ball right at Haggerty. Poor set. Powers two-hands it. Dug in the backcourt by Zumbeck.
That was a nice set. Tough attack, but good set.
And into the net. 4 hits.
So that's going to do things. That's going to do good things for you over time. For Santiago Canyon, if you have well-located passes and digs, well-located sets, it's okay to miss an attack here and there as long as you're being aggressive. But that's the difference in the match right now, is Santiago Canyon has more consistently located passes and sets.
And that swing falls down for a kill.
That was a nice hit by Falinga Michaela. Right into the corner. That is a place that all good volleyball players know like the back of their hand. You're able to snap the ball in that deep corner.
The court vision that they are able to display.
Oh, tough situation for Golden West. Let's see what they can do in transition defense.
Bumped over by Hennessy. Michaela, soft block. Perimeter to Hennessy. That one won't get down.
Can you see Santiago Canyon flying around the court right now to keep balls off the ground? Look at this. Look at the defensive effort.
Yeah, Juarez unable to find the floor.
Every time, defensive effort. They're scrapping. Look at this.
Powers.
Up on 2. That's a net. Okay, but that's going to be, in the long run, Santiago Canyon is just putting themselves in better situations. So right now they're making a few mistakes on the third contact here and there, but over time, if you have the first and second contacts cleaner, you're going to win volleyball games. So Golden West's best opportunity is to be able to turn that around on their side. First and second contacts.
They could also start by turning it around from the service line. Mia Laura will flail away with the right hand.
Oh, that was a nice serve. Back set.
Borak, smart shot off the block and out. So Lauren Borak, opposite, also at the outside hitter spot. Botana can't get the lift, and that one will not clear the net.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty good set. We don't have the angle up here, but it looks like that set made it all the way out to the antenna. So Golden West is going to keep having to work at getting their feet to the ball, rising up and hitting something high over the net.
Laura goes behind the head to Hennessy. Well, maybe that timeout was placed fairly in a good time because, I mean, it's still early in this second set, but Golden West is hanging on.
I think the coach realized he's going to have to do something drastic to get this thing to turn around. I mean, that was a pretty convincing win by Santiago Canyon in set 1. And Santiago Canyon isn't Irvine Valley. You know, it's not a school that there's an expectation to have a 25-13 set. And so when you see your team come out set 2 against a team who has no subs, who you've already beaten in the season, you're trying to get this win when you've gone on a 7-match losing streak.
Here's Holly Hennessy. Juarez pushes it down right past the attacking line and finding a soft spot in the defense.
Yeah, that was a nice play by Golden West. So they've gotten themselves back to even, 7-7. Let's see if Holly Hennessy can get them on a run here from the service line.
She has 9 aces on the season, 12 service errors. Wow. Make it 10 aces as she dials one up in the middle.
Did you see the bottom fall out of that serve? That is not easy to do. That was an impressive serve at any level.
So the home team goes in front.
Wow.
Michaela gets first contact. They feed her on the pin, and that one.
You know a strong hit is coming on that swing after she gets ace the previous play. That's a competitor.
Set goes to Holmes. Directs it down the line. Borak was there. Outside set to Holmes again, and she is dug by Borak. They try to go down the line, but Hennessy was in coverage. Where are you with those double contact calls? Had they changed over the years as far as what is called and what isn't?
Yeah, and to be honest, it changes by level, right? At the highest level, ironically, you would think that they call it more because the players tend to be more skilled and more experienced, but they actually call it less frequently at the high level. They let people play on at the professional and at the collegiate Division I level. And at the junior college level and the high school level, referees just seem to want to get involved more so. But, you know, anytime that ball is rotating, refs have prerogative. That's my opinion. 10 feet off the net again. She finds a way to crush that down the line. That was a really sweet swing by number 9, Madison Holmes.
And the lead going back to Golden West. They drop set one, 25-23. Here is Juarez, the short serve. Perimeter pass. Zumbeck got her shot rejected.
Can't watch.
So the service run continues for Jennifer Juarez. Had 4 aces earlier this month in a match.
To that short serve. Oh, nice hit.
Zumbeck going high hands.
Yeah, that was a real nice swing. If that's a shot you can master when you're somebody who hits from under the net, if you can aim up at the top of the fingers, the soft part of the hands of the block, you could score a lot because there's not a whole lot of girls who are able to run down the ball outside of the court lines here.
Naomi Ruiz deals it into the twine.
Tough serve.
Nicole Powers will come back in, so will Megan Brazelton. They've played a lot of Brazelton lately, experimenting with her at the setter spot.
Yeah, that's a nice honor to get that from your coach, to be able to have the opportunity to step in and run the team. It's unfortunate that it comes from an injury, but I mean, I had a situation like that when I was at Irvine. I originally didn't get my start until our starting setter had a concussion and ended up having an injury. But if he, you know, has the confidence in her to be able to set the offense and run the offense and run the team, and right now they're up 12-9, so we'll see if she can keep it going.
That will bring about a timeout for Santiago Canyon. So despite the fact that they're not 100% in Golden West, despite the fact that it's sort of like still it feels almost like not a tryout per se because you have all these different pieces, but it's just like you said, trying to find a level of camaraderie and continuity is the word I'm looking for right now. That's the one thing that they don't have.
Yeah, if it's so difficult to build flow. It's not even something that, oh my gosh, it's not even something you can really put into words. Having a complete off season doesn't even give you enough time a lot of times. So to have a complete off season where your mindset is this person is going to be leading our team, this person is going to be our primary setter, to have that person get injured and then to be one of the people asked to step in and fill that role, to even have a locker room that's not toxic, you know, talking about how inadequate you are is enough of a, oh my gosh.
That's a poor set, but it's sent over by Zumbeck. Free ball for Golden West. Powers trying to direct it cross court.
And so you can see right now what I was talking about. In junior college volleyball, it takes 5-point runs. So you have an absolute landslide in the first set. And now Golden West is up 13-9 because Santiago Canyon isn't able to cover a tip. You know, like that's how junior college volleyball works. It's quick spurts of confidence, quick spurts of lacks of confidence, and being able to roll and compound on in deficiencies. So Santiago Canyon has Fallinga Michaela, who seems to be immune to some of this stuff because, like right there, her team's falling apart a little bit defensively, and she comes right in and snaps the ball down to the ground and is clapping it up for her teammates to get back on it.
Right at the net, and it will fall on the side of Golden West. So their lead is cut to 2 with Arissa Pue, the sophomore, back at the service line.
Hennessy, pretty good pass. Oh, that's. We said at the beginning, that's the story for Golden West. It's being able to better these contacts. You get a perfect pass that falls on your head, and then you literally give a free point away to Santiago Canyon. That right there is what we talked about at the beginning of the broadcast, and that is the struggle in a nutshell. It's, our starting setter, you know, she rolled her ankle. What's going to be the challenge for you? Getting people to be able to better the ball.
And that kill was put down by Nicole Powers, averaging 1.15 kills per set. Hit .333 against this team in Santiago Canyon back in September.
Oh, that is such a clean pass by Fallinga Michaela. So Fallinga's story is she was at a 4-year university last season, and she ended up transferring to Santiago Canyon this season because she was having a tough experience and her team wasn't doing very well, and she wants to try to pursue a D1 position as a libero. So she transferred to Santiago Canyon for 1 year in hopes to train her game up, get a lot of repetitions. So right now for her team, she's playing outside hitter, but her natural position is libero.
She had a shot there that went out.
Yeah, she had an opportunity to score in transition and actually even the score, 14 all, but instead Golden West takes it home for 15-13. And that's a good serve. Let's see if Fallinga takes the swing. Given a free ball to area 6, transition, she's going to swing.
Look at Powers firing away.
Golden West starting to do a little bit of begging here.
Yeah, no touch up front. And Zoe Tappy will come back in number 1 for Santiago Canyon. They go down the line to Hennessy. Holmes to Juarez. She will send a free ball to Santiago Canyon. Borak rifles the shot off the right side. Hennessy just blasting one into the backcourt.
That was an absolute hammer. Absolute hammer.
So Nicole Powers coming out. Mia Lara will check back in. One thing that Golden West will do, they will play a lot of players.
No doubt. I mean, when you have a bench that deep, I was asking the coach of Santiago Canyon, Alex Griffiths, before the game started, I said, today in junior college volleyball, what is the average number of players to have on a team? She said, between 12 and 16. And I said, how many players do you all have? And she said, we have 7 right now here. I was like, that's an interesting situation to be in. Whoa. No, that's yeah, there's been some tough calls going Golden West way. I think that's an over. The girl was standing on the ground trying to set the ball, and Fallinga Michaela reached over and touched it on its way up. But Santiago Canyon takes the point and ties it up. Oh, no, it's 15-16. So we've got a transition set. This is for the tie. Good swing.
Hennessy gets dug, though, in the cross court.
That's what we like to see, some good heat at the junior college level. Get some more fans in the gym.
So here comes Holly Hennessy. 2 of her last 3 matches coming in, has hit in negative numbers. Bump set to Michaela. She will half-speed it across.
That's got to go over. Okay.
Bumped over by Ruiz. Quick middle to Juarez. Did not get a clean swing on that. Tattooed by Michaela. Well, she has the heat.
Yeah, that was a good swing, but like we talked about before, when you're not jumping, upwards of 25, 30 inches off the ground, it's tough sometimes to get those trajectories when you have such a hard arm swing, because the harder you hit the ball, the more flat that it travels.
They will go to the back row and a swing from Holmes, or rather Hennessy.
Uh-oh.
And that one put down successfully.
Yeah, little details in the game like that. Are you able to come across and transition on free balls? Like, is there setter and back row communication? There was a good example of that. The setter just kind of left the back row before playing defense. Those little details are the difference. And there's another example on Santiago Canyon side. It's little communication things. Those are the things that we want to get cleared up in the offseason. But both of these teams, who are trying to get better, trying to move up league standings, trying to build some camaraderie amongst their teams, those are the little details that they're going to have to improve if they want to end up competing with schools like Irvine Valley.
Yeah, let's talk about those league standings. Well, Irvine Valley was predicted in the preseason to be #1. They have certainly lived up to that hype. Won the state championship last year, even though they lost 6 players to graduation, or moved from a 2-year institution to a 4-year institution to play. So they're certainly not rebuilding, they're reloading. Then you have a team like Cypress. There's actually, when you look at the standings, there's everybody looking up at Irvine, and then there are 4 teams that are fighting for that second spot that are just a couple games back, but right within each other there, as far as trying to get a grasp on that second place positioning.
No doubt. So we got a bunch of teams in the league, but not a bunch of people are hanging at the top. Irvine Valley's, like you said, they're hanging up there at the top, holding the crown. And the teams like the ones we're watching tonight, Golden West and Santiago Canyon, they're trying to build and they're trying to get better. But primary things I'm seeing, if I had to say the #1 things that Golden West has to work on, those have to be secondary contacts, which is tough because they lost their setter, but a lot of repetitions and a lot of conversations about secondary contacts, and then tertiary contacts. So the third contact being about bettering the ball. That should be the conversation inside the Golden West gym right now. And for Santiago Canyon, it's maintaining. So they seem to have a pretty clean system, and they seem to have pretty clean camaraderie, and they know what they want to do within their ability. But can they sustain that level? Are they able to hold that level? So I'm really curious to see that towards the end of the second set here. If they end up coming back and winning this, see, with plays like that, you have to be able to turn that corner. When a team's giving you free balls or a team's giving you soft shots, if you're a team who wants to compete for a league title or compete for a state championship eventually, you have to learn how to turn that corner and be able to close matches and close sets strong.
And Golden West has done that. I mean, they've won conference titles, but it hasn't been since 2012. They had another conference title that they took in 2011. So it's a program that has had a lot of success over the years, just not so much recently. They went 24-5, lost in the state championship match in 2012.
Yeah, it fluctuates. So Irvine Valley, Orange Coast College, and Golden West used to have a pretty strong rivalry with each other in the early 2010s. And now IBC kind of sits at the top of that. Golden West has dropped a little bit, but we'll see if when their setter gets healthy, if they can come back up the ranks a little bit, because their primary setter is pretty talented, Sophia Peterson. It's unfortunate that they don't have her, but Golden West is going to see if they can pull off this win nonetheless. They're up here 22-17.
Hennessy from the back getting a swing in there, dug by Ruiz. Zumbeck got stuffed. Powers was there up high, and so was Amanda Laura with the shutdown.
That was a real nice block. Clean hip, seals the net, blocks it straight down on the side rather than getting tooled out of bounds. Golden West is rolling here.
23-17, Rustlers. Here is the serve from Brazelton, and it flutters long. Pouet in service. Outside to Powers. Shreds the double block. Bump set from Ruiz to Zumbeck. Cutting it inside a solo block in Laura.
There was some fortune there with that ball hitting the tape and staying in bounds. I don't think that swing was going to end up inside of the box. Nonetheless, it does. Another serve. Good pass.
Brazelton off the net to Holmes. Dug in the cross court by Pouet. Set towards the pin for Borak. And then shoveled over by Brazelton.
Oh, she's under.
Let it.
No, the setter ended up jumping under the net because of a tight pass. Little ball control details. That could have been the ball that's in them 20-23. Instead, it's 24-19, and Golden West has set point.
Chance to even this match at 1 set apiece. Serve from Holmes goes down the line, and it will be a free ball to Golden West. Quick middle to Laura, and that one is long. Zumbeck from the line. Brazelton bump set to Powers. Retrieved in the backcourt by Zumbeck. Michaela, just a fierce high velocity arm swing.
That is a spicy swing right through the wickets of the block.
So timeout called for Golden West. How do they close this though? I mean, they've found a way to put themselves in front, but when you have a team that's trying to find a way to win, sometimes it's hard to find ways to close, and I know that's something that has to be learned. And
yeah, I'm hoping they prove me wrong, but my hunch is that Golden West is going to end up winning on an error from Santiago Canyon. So rather than Golden West serving, well, Golden West not going to serve for the rest of the set, so Santiago Canyon serving and Golden West having their own side out, which is possible. I think it's more likely that Golden West passes, sets, snaps it over the net, and Santiago Canyon ends up making an error to end the set. But we'll see. I could be wrong. Let's see if I'm a fortune teller.
I was just going to say, you've done a pretty good job of that so far, so I like your chances.
Okay.
Serve from Zumbeck.
All right, so they give the free ball. Let's see if Santiago Canyon makes an error here.
Outlet pass to Michaela, and Powers just well defended on the pin.
Houses that strong swing from Falinga, but it's okay. It's even. Although it may not be in the mental of a junior college athlete, it is as if the score is 0-0. Now it's just first to 2 sets.
First to 2 sets, 1 set apiece. So what looked different, Chris, in set 2 as far as adjustments that the wrestlers made from what you saw in set 1?
To be honest, I think they started similar. It was that 5-point run that we talked about in the middle of the game. There was a little 5-point stretch where Santiago Canyon was running into each other on free balls, hitting the ball out wide. Golden West finally had a little bit of improvement with their third attack. I still think their setting has to improve if they want to win this match, but the third attack wasn't as often hit in the net or wide. They kept the ball in play and allowed Santiago Canyon to try to have to hang. And like we talked about at the beginning of the broadcast, I'm not going to say easy, but it's easier to begin a match strong when you have 7 players. But it's tough over time when there's just 7 players and you have to play every point. You're making every dive. You're taking every swing. You're running after every ball. That can be fatiguing unless they're doing some pretty intense stuff in conditioning. So I'm going to see. That's going to be what I'm looking for in set 3 here. Because we have to play at least 2 more sets. So can Santiago Canyon have any kind of stamina, and specifically Falinga Michaela? Can she, having to take 80% of the sets, and you saw at the end of the set there, she got roofed straight down. Can she have any kind of lift or any kind of arm as this thing goes on? Well, Golden West has a plethora of subs they can use.
Golden West took down that Santiago Canyon team in 3 sets back on September 14th, and just kind of hitting the rewind button for just a moment. Golden West 8 aces, second most they have had in a match this year. We haven't seen too much of that. Again, there's still a lot of time to to try to up that mark. But they hit just 125 in that match, had 10 attacking errors, which was actually the second fewest in a match this season. But that was before you lose Peterson to the injury, and so that's obviously complicated things and made it hard to establish good attacks and good approaches.
Yeah, and that's definitely turned the tide on their season, as we can see. Like we've been talking about, a 7-match losing streak, but they're 1-1 now here with Santiago Canyon. They've got an opportunity to win this thing. Now they know they can at least take a set. We'll see if they've got the confidence to take a match.
Golden West will start from the service line as we get set for the third set. One set apiece, 25-23. That first game was taken by Santiago Canyon, and then Coach Lawler's team for the Rustlers, they responded in set 2, winning it 25-21. Megan Brazelton will take the honors from the service line.
So that lineup with Holly Hennessy back at the outside, that worked out for Golden West. I'm curious to see if it stays that way.
Oh, let's serve. Diving for it was Michaela. Outside to Zumbeck. She is dug by Brazelton.
Holly Hennessy stepping in on the setting duties. That was a sweet dig. Oh,
that's going to be 4 hits. Or what? No, was that a center line violation?
Well, you can call it either way. They just weren't able to get the third contact over the net. But Golden West off to a good start, scoring on their serve.
Brazelton again from the service line, forcing the overpass. Suarez, the put down that didn't get down for a kill, and then there was a score. Interesting note about Brazelton, she did not play in the first 10 matches.
Really?
Yeah. Has only played in now her 4th match, and look, they've had to use her with the absence of Peterson. Set goes to Holmes. Offensive rebound. They refeed her off the net, and Michaela is there for the up. In the seam, that one. Tails down for a kill, courtesy.
Good cross-court swing to the corner.
Yeah, of Borak.
That's a swing that every good outside hitter should have.
Botched down the line by Hennessy. That's a tough serve to return, right?
Yeah, because the serve rises on you. So in the women's game, there's not a lot of overhand passing with the fingers. So because a lot of young ladies look to pass with their platform, any serve that rises up on your chest that you feel like is inbounds is going to be tough.
Hennessy diving in there for the first contact. Holmes will send it the opposite side. Then Holmes will play to Brazelton, who works it to Powers. Her shot got sent backwards. And there's a kill for Madison Holmes. Coming into this match, Holmes hitting on the season just .087.
Well, she has an opportunity to get those hitting numbers up tonight. Santiago Canyon passing about 20 feet off the net. That's a really good hit by Falinga, though.
Powers finding the vacancy in the backcourt.
That's tough. So those are the little mental errors that can start to creep in over time when you don't have stamina, you know, and not to say that they don't, but I'm curious to watch it. If we continuously, repeatedly see situations like that, like free balls coming over the net and them not being able to return them to the setter, I'm going to worry about Santiago Canyon's mental stamina here, but they were able to side out there for a 3-4.
Yeah, that was Lauren Borak with the put away. Great pass to her on the outside. And here is the serve from Haggerty that tails wide. Juarez will come in for Laura. Bump set to Michaela. Powers and Juarez collaborating on the stop.
Making it happen.
So Golden West 6, Santiago Canyon 3. Another strong serve forcing the overpass. Juarez with the dunk.
Golden West is getting rolling here, getting some overpasses, and that's their opportunity. Timeout, Santiago Canyon.
So how have things shifted so much from maybe what we saw in set 1 to us thinking, well, Golden West has a lot of things they need to work on, to making some certain adjustments to not only take set 2, but then come out hot in set 3.
To me, it's a lot about that mental fatigue that we were just talking about. It's, are you able to continue to be good? That's the challenge of volleyball. In basketball, when you come back from a quarter, you keep the score that you had from the previous quarter. So if a team's going to come back on you, they've got to make up space. In football, it's the same, and all these other sports, it's the same. And sports like volleyball and tennis, everything is a brand new set. So you can go out and absolutely hammer a team, and it's back to 0-0. So that's what we talked about after that second set ended. It's psychologically, you don't come back and it's, well, you know, we won 25-13, so if this team wants to beat us, they would have to score 12 points just to tie us. It doesn't work that way. It's, you could lose 25-1 and come back and win 27-25, and it's still 1-1. So Golden West seems to be using a little bit of that confidence from set 2, continuing to roll here, and Santiago Canyon is wavering a little bit. And Santiago Canyon is so reliant on falling to Michaela, and she's not a high flyer. She's a good passer, good defender with a good shoulder, so that's tough over time because she's not able to still be tall, and she's not able to still jump and jump and jump. Uh-oh, see, you come right out of a timeout with the out of rotation. That's mental fatigue.
Just on cue. The fortune teller you are, Chris.
I'm working on it.
You are. You're doing a great job at it. 5-point lead for the Rustlers in set 3. And that ball sailing way long.
All right, well, Golden West still in good shape here. I really like their lineup better with Holly Hennessy at the outside. I do think she's a good leader, and sometimes what can happen when you have a good leader and you put them in a position that they're not uncomfortable in is it diminishes their ability to lead. So there she is with a tip kill over the block, and I think when she's in a position she's comfortable with, that she's played before, she can have a greater effect on the team than if she's a leader who's being diminished by being in a position that she's not used to.
You always, absolutely, you want to utilize your player's strengths to the highest potential.
This is getting a little bit rough reception-wise for Santiago Canyon, so we'll see if they can turn it around as the set goes on, but right now they're watching balls hit their side of the court.
Well, Hennessy got a touch from the opposite position on the swing. Mia Laura out there now.
Still going, 10-4.
Averaging 1.83 digs per set, goes at Michaela. Pass back to her into the back row. Bumped over by Holmes.
Setting the 2-ball to the left-handed middle. That's a tough set right there. And
Botana.
Still have yet to see Santiago Canyon get going here. It's going to start to look like the score of set 3 is going to be similar to the score in set 1 on a flip.
Michaela will send a free ball to Golden West. Quick middle to Juarez. And she tees off. Nice passing there, right?
Yeah,
we haven't seen a lot of one-tempo work there.
Exactly. So that's what can happen when you get in flow. All of a sudden, you're getting free balls, and all of a sudden your hitters jump a little higher. They hit a little quicker. Setters are a little more accurate, and that's what we're seeing right here. And if you notice Santiago Canyon, That's a swing that was scoring in the first set that's now getting dug, and that's a ball that was dug in the first set that's now falling. It's a little bit of flips like that, and that is the psychological component of volleyball. You have to have the confidence that you can do it, and there's very few players in the world, not at this level, not in this court, not on this team, it's in the world, who are able to literally be immune to that.
And Juarez again slugging it for the kill off the overpass.
It's starting to slide a little bit here. 14-4. This is what we had seen in the first set on the flip, is that 10-point lead at 22-12 in favor of Santiago Canyon, and now you got an 11-point lead. That was money. And you got that confidence rolling for you. The whole team's feeling good. You got the crowd behind you at home. This is the way the Golden West would like to be playing, and they'd like to carry this through to a 4-set win. We'll see.
Laura will serve it to Michaela. Tight set and mishandled by Pue right below the net. I mean, what could Pue have done in that situation?
I mean, ideally you jump and you try to make a play on the ball before it goes over the net, but it's tough from a setter's perspective. If you know, like right there, you notice she's coming from what we call rotation 4, which is near the ref stand over here. She's got to run all the way to the center of the court, get open, stop, turned around before the pass is touching the passer's platform. So that's one of the hardest things to do in volleyball. If you watch her here, number 18, run along the net, let's see if she even gets stopped before the ball touches the platform. She's still moving, so she's got to change direction, and now she's bump setting. That's tough for setters.
Loading up was Botana, scooped up by Zubek. And bump set back to Botana, redirected off the hands of Tapie and sent across.
This is a tough night for Paulinga. She's taken about 35 swings in my estimation, and we're only in the middle of set 3. There's 36 swings.
Hennessy.
Let's see if she gets 37. No.
Backcourt look for Zumbeck. Flutters long. That one was well out of bounds. (18-4).
18-4. That's tough, but that is that psychological component we were talking about. So once we end up finishing this set, I'm curious to see if Santiago Canyon's got it in them to battle or if they're going to lie down.
We kind of talked about this. Obviously, Irvine Valley College is in first place. Then you got the likes of Orange Coast. They're 6-2 in conference play. And then there are 3 teams at 5-3 in conference play. Riverside, Cypress, and Saddleback. And then Fullerton is not too far behind at 4-4.
See if we can keep this going. I know Golden West would like to keep Santiago Canyon under 10 in this set.
Laura winding up. First to get to it was Michaela, and she will slug it off the block of Botana and Juarez and register the kill.
Good
Bump set, yeah, to Botana. Scooped up by Michaela. Zumbeck.
Yeah,
going
number
wide.
23, Stacy Zumbeck's got a nice shoulder, but she continues to pike on her swings. If you notice, she's not opening her hips and then rotating back in the court, but she's bending her back, losing side of the court, and then piking forward, so she loses a little bit of height, which is why she's hitting wide. Out of rotation for the 4th time this set. 4th time.
4th time.
4th time in a single set out of rotation. and they're not making any adjustments. You see the coaches aren't talking to them. The players aren't really talking to each other. It's just kind of like, when's this set going to end?
Yeah. Here comes the serve from Hennessy. Right at Ruiz. Poulet sets to Zumbeck, and a tight set, not ideal for an attack.
Tough.
'21 serving 5. Strong serve by Hennessy. To the perimeter for Zumbeck, and that shot is dug in the cross court. Botana hits the antenna, so out, and a point for Santiago Canyon.
Yeah. I'm curious to see if Golden West can keep Santiago Canyon under 10 points in this set with serves like that. They're looking in good shape to do it.
That was Ruiz who couldn't get it past the net.
So Golden West is trying to get to 3 points here before Santiago Canyon scores 4. That's their little mini goal here before we get into set 4.
Jennifer Juarez puts
pass.
some heat on that serve. Outside to Zumbeck.
Hi-ya.
Between Juarez and Hennessy, and down for a score. This is Pouet.
Nice pass.
Lara goes outside to Holmes. Zumbeck got her shot scooped up. Bump set to Zumbeck.
Oh, that was
nifty
slippery.
shot.
That was slippery. Sidearm roll over the net to the middle of the court.
Arissa Pouet forces the overpass outside to Borak.
All right. So pay attention here. You see Santiago Canyon starting to get a little bit of momentum. This is what we're talking about. I won't be surprised to see this thing get pretty even in set 4. That's junior college volleyball. That's what we like to see, more volleyball.
Here comes the serve from Arissa Pouet going down the line for Holmes. Bump set from Laura. And Holmes will have to bump it across. Zumbeck getting a swing, and she is scooped up. Coming in there was Ruiz. Outside the antenna.
Yeah. Developing this momentum over here. That's 4 straight points for Santiago Canyon. Golden West wants to avoid having to call a timeout. That can kind of be a psychological thing for players, feeling like, oh, shoot, we've lost that great momentum that we had. But we may be entering on one pretty soon here. If this ends up being a kill, I won't be surprised.
Zumbeck.
Good dig.
Able to battle it through the block, and it's bumped over by Laura. Michaela first contact, and knocked over by Borak. Trickling over the cable and falling down.
5 straight points.
So, yeah. 5-0 run.
You got Golden West, the setter, over there clapping on the bench. She's a little bit frustrated for multiple reasons. She can't play, and she wants her team to close this set out and get this win in her absence.
Pass goes to Holmes, and she is able to thunder it down the line. Megan Brazelton retreating out to the service line here. Goes right at Michaela. Pouet backside, and that swing by Zumbeck is dug. High ball to Borak, one-hand stab that forces or creates an overpass.
Uh-oh, not ready to hit there.
They will feed Zumbeck, dug up in the middle back by Hennessy, who will then get a look from the back row.
Showing some pretty good athleticism out here. scrapping these plays up.
And there is Powers muscling it down to end the rally and get the finish.
One more point for Golden West.
Brazelton, right to Michaela. High ball to Borak. Popped up by Hennessy. This is Holmes ascending above the net.
It just hits it a little bit wide over the top of the box. So that was actually a pretty good hit. She tried to go for the top of the fingers there, down the line. Missed it by an inch, but she's got a 12-point cushion in her favor. Out of bounds.
Unforced error to end set 3. Golden West takes it 25-12.
So it's heading into set 4 here. What I want to see most is how Santiago Canyon is going to respond. Golden West seems to be in a good flow right now, good rhythm. They changed their lineup. It's working out for them. Santiago Canyon doesn't have the opportunity to change their lineup because they have 7 players. Can they bounce back mentally and get back to the way they were playing in set 1, or is Golden West going to take this in 4 sets?
Well, this certainly would feel really good for Golden West. They have not won in over a month, and maybe give them a little extra confidence boost coming into Friday when they have to go on the road and take on a powerhouse in Irvine Valley College.
Yeah, that'd be nice. What you don't want is an 8-game losing streak. What you definitely don't want is a 9-game losing streak. So they have the opportunity to cut it off here by winning a single set. So they can get it done in 4 here. Or if we have to go to the home stretch in 5, they're at home. So they're in a situation here that they want to be in. They have an opportunity and the game's in their hands.
Golden West has been on the losing side of a couple 5-set affairs lately. They dropped a 5-setter to Orange Coast in late September. And then against Saddleback in October, they dropped sets 1 and 2 and then came back in sets 3 and 4, but then got outscored 15-5 in that all-decisive 5th set.
Yeah, that shows a little bit of change in momentum. So you come in, you're playing well for sets 1 and 2, and some of that mental fatigue can set in. So for Santiago Canyon, who only has 7 players, that's what I'm going to be looking for right now. But right now they seem locked into what their coach has to say. Golden West is in free spirits, kind of moving around the bench, lots of smiles, lots of laughs. So we'll see how they look coming out in set 4.
Chris, what's your assessment of both teams in the blocking department right now?
You know, I would say Santiago Canyon's not doing a whole lot on the block. They just don't have players who are jumping physically, getting up over the net to block. So their game is more predicated on digging balls and having clean transition sets, where Golden West seems to be starting off sets slow blocking, but they seem to be closing sets well blocking. And that's the way you'd like it to be. You definitely don't want to start out hot and then close slow. So it's more important how you finish than how you start. So Golden West has got a little more physical players, a little bit taller, and so they are leading in the block count right now.
So why do you think a team would start out slow from the block?
Well, it's getting a gauge on a team, you know, learning passing rhythm, learning rhythm of the sets, which hitters have a quick arm, which hitters hit low, which hitters hit away from where they face. There's so many little nuances in blocking. I would call it the most difficult skill in volleyball from personal experience, but obviously that's predicated on the individual player.
Do you have a block, one single moment or play in your career that you will go back at and say this was the best block I've ever had in my life?
Definitely, but mine is 3, and they happen back to back to back. So
oh
my
gosh.
Junior year in college, I actually developed a little bit of an MO for getting what other people would call clutch blocks late in sets. So I would never get any blocks. There were all these like big hitters, big jumpers, All-American types, you know, that we were always playing against when I was at Irvine. But we were playing against USC in the NCAA semifinal, or the MPSF semifinals my junior year, and in the 5th set to end our season, USC was tied with us 12-12, and they had the advantage. We served them. Long rally, and in transition, they set their outside hitter who ended up winning Player of the Year that year, and I reached in on a solo block and stuffed him straight down. We ended up winning the set, and then later playing them in the national championship. That was one game changer for me. That was another one against Stanford 2 nights later. We were playing them for the MPSF finals. Again, another if you lose, you're done for the season type match, and they had an All-American on their team who in the 5th set, we were up 12-11, and they were going for a side out to tie it at 12-12, and I ended up reaching in on a solo block and getting the stuff to make it 13-11, and we won the set. And then the last one is my senior year in the national championship. We had won the first 2 sets. We were playing in Poly Pavilion, and we go up against we're down. What was the score? It was 21-24 after we sided out. So it was 20-24. We sided out. The next play, we served them. Their best player, who ended up winning Player of the Year, hits the ball out of bounds, sharp wide, 22-24. And then at 22-24, they set him again, and I stuff him straight down
on
the side of the net to go 23-24. They call a timeout. We come back from the timeout. They set their middle. He gets blocked by our middle, 24 all. And then that same Player of the Year ends up getting blocked back-to-back at 24 and 25. So, for 25 and 26, we end up winning the national championship in 3 sets. So those were the 3 blocks that I'll probably never forget in my collegiate career anyway. Now I do more defending than I do blocking on the beach. And as we're back to the game here, it is 6-0 in favor of Santiago Canyon.
So you were wondering if they would show that response, and it looks like they have so far.
Yeah, and I think you see that so often in junior college. That's why there's a lot of 5-set matches in volleyball in general, but people just have this ebbs and flow of satisfied and unsatisfied. So when we're losing, we need to play well now. We got to get rolling. We got to do it. And when we've won, we let off the gas pedal, and this is what happens. It's now 7-0.
7-0. Arissa Pue from the baseline. Brazelton running over for the second contact. Powers gets the half-speed shot. Borak dug over the net via overpass. Powers going tip down the line in front of Pue.
Nice tip.
So that halts a 7-0 scoring burst to begin set 4.
Good serve.
And the serve from Madison Holmes. Set goes to
Nice
Zumbeck.
cover.
She got blocked back.
Good looking cover.
A 2-0 spurt for the Rustlers. Michaela gets to it on the first contact. They set up Lauren Borak. She is dug in the cross court. Off the net, two-handed over by Hennessy and upped by Borak, who will swing away and get stuffed.
There's an example of that block for Golden West. So they definitely have more stuffs tonight than Santiago Canyon. They've got more physical players. Santiago Canyon still holds the lead here, facing a side out for 7-3.
3-0 run. Serve from Powers goes to Michaela. Pue, high ball to Zumbeck. Upped in the back row by Holmes. There is Powers putting it down. Very excellent, intelligent shot making right there for the sophomore.
Yeah, that was smooth. She dropped it right over the block in the middle of the court. That ends up being a vulnerable area against most teams.
Michaela to pass to Pue, who can't really get something going there.
So when we started out this set, it looked like Santiago Canyon was going to send us to 5, but Golden West is storming back right now, 5-7. See if they can grab one more point. And there it is.
One hand up attempt by Michaela. Borak could not chase it down on the second contact.
That's why volleyball is such an interesting sport. It's almost ungageable the way that momentum works that way. Like, you can have a team up 7-0, and one team can just look completely demoralized, and all of a sudden you forget just the way that one team can do it, another team has the same capability. And here we go on what could end up being a 7-7 tie. That's out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
You have a 7-7 tie, so 7-0 run is complemented by another 7-0 run. That is junior college volleyball, and that's why we like watching it.
That's Michaela botching the first contact. It will be sent over on 3 to Holmes. Pass outside to Hennessy.
Oh, good
Popped
dig.
up by Pue. Tip shot gets rejected.
It's a tough call.
There's a lot of
double contacts
calls out there tonight.
Yeah, that's to me, that's a tough call. I've seen about 8 sets worse than that tonight, but, you know, if the only way to absolve yourself from a ref calling you is that ball's got to come out perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And that setter is out of rotation.
Michaela reaching down and getting the first contact. Zoombeck with some serious speed on that one.
Good hit. Let's see what she can do from the service line. Is Fallinga go to the front row now? She does at left front.
Brazelton going outside to
nice
Hennessy.
turn and dig.
That was Haggerty making the play. Powers going with the cut shot.
Good high
Powers,
hit.
one-handed stab up. Long-range shot from Holmes. Outside to Michaela, and she took a little something off of it.
Yeah.
That was really beautiful, wasn't it,
She was
Chris?
on her way down, and she realized she was about to hit the ball in the net if she hit it strong, so she opened her fingers up and dropped the tip in pretty accurately. That was a pretty good-looking tip. I'd like to say I taught her that, but not the on the way the down part.
Well, there was some serious hang time where she was able to rethink her attack.
Wow, good serve.
Holmes, a look from the back, going now to Michaela. Well, the block looking better, maybe?
Yeah, no, I mean, Golden West has been getting the majority of the blocks as this has gone on. And I thought that was supposed to put them up by 1 point, but apparently we're tied.
Short serve, and Ruiz getting to it, but can't pop it up and keep it alive.
There we go, 10-9. Rolling, rolling, rolling.
Pue plays to Michaela. Overpass. Haggerty trying to put it down up front. Backside. Borak popped up by Powers, the sophomore. And passed over in the back row for Zoombeck. Powers on the second contact.
Athletic play. This is exciting. Hit it hard.
They set up Borak. Pinballed around and returned. Middle to Juarez. Down the line, and that shot will be a point after Pue directed it right down the sideline.
That was a really nice rally going on there. A little miscommunication at the end, but we're tied up 10-10, keeping this game interesting.
Here is Aaron Haggerty. Goes right at Hennessy. Brazelton feeds Hennessy. Soft block, and it's Michaela ripping it long.
And you remember me talking about that potential fatigue for her, taking 80% of the sets. Not a great jumper. We're here in set 4, and her swings are starting to be a little bit low to the tape, or she's hitting them a little wide out of bounds. So if I'm her in system in good situations, I start dropping in a couple tips for quick kills, and then keep taking some chances on balls that are off the net.
Well, they continue to
There
feed
you go.
her.
Okay.
Botana with a swing. Borak with a pummeling shot.
Come on, Anthony. I don't think there was a touch there.
Well, our second referee says there was, so they
And that's his mom down
consult
as the second referee, so she's going to take care of her boy. Nonetheless, Santiago Canyon gets a nice break there. That ball did not look like it was touched to me, and that's the difference between 12-10 and 11-11.
Lauren Borak sends it across. Botana two-hands it down the line. Michaela get her shot returned. Almost over after the setter dump falls for a point for Santiago Canyon. Borak spins
good
the
serve.
Yeah, really good
Hit it
heat
hard
on it. Hennessy gets scooped up by Zubek.
Starting to lose a little bit of stamina as we go on here. Setters on both sides of the nets, giving up a couple doubles on good dig situations. Coach Alex Griffiths for Santiago Canyon prodding the ref to call it evenly. Refs don't tend to like when coaches get too involved, and coaches don't tend to like when refs get too involved. The ever-changing cycle.
They look to Michaela. She gets dug by Hennessy. Holmes firing away.
Spicy swing. Setter again. Hit it harder.
They work it to Holmes, and she can't get it down. Michaela took something off of it, but Hennessy was there. Holmes, the dink shot. That's some court savvy right
that
there.
Was smooth. So two really hard driven attacks get the defense to set in, and then a clean roll shot right over the block. Felinga Michaela's got a lot of responsibility on her side defensively and offensively, and with sets like that. See, that ball right there, a third contact, was a worse set than some of the ones I've seen called tonight, but it's not necessarily being called accurately, but that's volleyball, and I'm believing there was a net there. Big swing.
Michaela snapping it hard.
Back set.
Botana.
Tough angle.
Gets done.
All right, big swing.
Hennessy there in coverage in middle back. Outside to Holmes, trying to turn it down the line, out of bounds.
Tough swing.
Did you like that shot selection there going down the line?
I like the hard. Anything hard right now is good for me. Fourth set, if you're bringing heat, defenders are a little bit more fatigued, not getting to the ball as quickly. That was a good serve.
An ace doled out by
Felinga Michaela.
Michaela.
That's an interesting timeout.
What do you make about the timing of that?
The game just had good flow, it seemed like. It was going back and forth, ebbs and flows, and maybe the coach just feels like he doesn't want to get it away. He doesn't want the game to get away from him with Santiago Canyon's best player back at the service line right now. Maybe he saw something in his attackers he doesn't like, but they're huddled up pretty tightly over there having conversation, and now I'm seeing Golden West's bench is a lot more engaged. So as the game has gone on, Golden West bench is a lot more engaged. You look at Santiago Canyon's bench, you got some people kind of doing their own thing. Some people grabbing water. There's a little bit of a switch that's gone on there, and that's something to pay attention to. Team dynamic all the time. Is everybody on the same page? That's crucial.
Yeah, the body language has definitely looked better for Golden West as this match has progressed.
Oh, yeah. We head back out to the court. See if Golden West can get it going here.
And Michaela will try to get it going from the service line here. This is Holmes.
Good side out.
Holmes with the kill. Amanda Laura will check back in to the front row for the Rustlers. Juarez going right at Michaela. That one nudges the tape. Pushed over by Holmes.
Good hit.
Hennessy there to save it.
At this level, that difference is those swings towards area 6. If you look out on the court right where the basketball free throw line is up to where the three-point line is, that area in the court is where most volleyballs most frequently go, but it's also the easiest area to defend. So it's a catch-22. It's where the ball goes most often, yet it's the easiest to defend. So you want to be better about hitting the corners, utilizing the shallow middle, and if you've got really talented athletes, then you can hit the sharp edges of the court, but that's less prevalent in the junior college game.
Sure. So it's now Naomi Ruiz's turn from the end line. Laura, not a great set to Holmes, but does muscle up a swing.
Oh. That is unfortunate. That's the first 2-point lead since the beginning of the set here. Top Golden West, if they want to close this thing out, they've got to get going momentum-wise. Really playing at home here. They don't want Santiago Canyon to feel like they can take this thing home.
Off the platform of Hennessy, Holmes. And now they get it across without an attack. And Haggerty winning at the net. So Santiago Canyon, they got out 7-0, and then they relinquished the lead, down 8-7, and here they are back in front by 3, 17-14.
Yeah, that can be the flow of how it goes.
Tight set, bumped over by Michaela. Laura works it to Holmes. That drops.
It's going to be a pretty crucial turning point right here. Kind of these next points leading up to one team getting to 20 first. I think that's going to determine who takes the second set or the fourth set.
They run the middle to Haggerty. Nice save by Brazelton as Powers will send it the other way. Outside to Zumbeck.
Good hit.
Pounds it down.
Utilizing that corner again. That's a nice clean stroke, especially as the game goes on. If you can get the ball deeper in the court, you make it tougher for the defense to transition.
8 turn serving 15. Arissa Pue from the service line.
That was fast.
Tight ball into the net and unable to be kept alive and returned. Point Santiago Canyon.
That's where it's nice to have a taller setter who can get their hands on the ball before the ball gets up to the net. Because if you notice, that ball wasn't actually an overpass. It just had the illusion that it was going to be an overpass because it was moving towards the net. But if you've got a taller setter or a setter with pretty good vertical athleticism, then the ball ends up getting saved there. Maybe save a point for your team.
Laura with the nice read at the net. Coming up with the block. Serve from Holmes with some heat to Michaela. Misplays it. Bumped over to Powers. Brazelton plays to Hennessy. Michaela will send it towards zone 1. Powers. You know, she's really developed that change
Soft
of pace.
Middle of the
yeah,
court shot. Yeah, it's deceptive. Having that shot is pretty crucial at all levels. That middle of the court, we call it the donut. That hole in the middle of the court. If you can get the ball to the ground fast, you can score a lot of points. But it can also be, again, one of the easiest. That's the ironic part about volleyball. The most difficult shots are the toughest to score with, right? But the easier, more consistent shots are more easier to defend. So you got to kind of pick your poison. Like, you can tip balls in the middle of the court and you can score some points, but it's also the easiest play for a defense to transition out. And you could try really tough shots like hitting the edges and the sidelines, and they can be devastating, but they're also really easy to screw up. If you just like turn your wrist the wrong way or misjudge a ball, then it's going to be an error. There's no room for error. So you got to kind of pick your poison in volleyball. The most consistent players, in my opinion, tend to be the ones with physicality who can hit the gnarlier shots, but they utilize the simple shots for the majority of their kills. Like, they're up big and physical and on time, but they just snap it to the corners, and then occasionally they'll snap one sharp just to show you they have it, and then they'll go back to the simpler shots.
Well, coming out of the timeout, it will be Madison Holmes trying to slap it the other way. Gets it down to Michaela. Pouet plays to Zumbek. Brazelton sets a poor set to Hennessy.
Good block. That's what we talked about before. If you can get those blocks late in the set, you gave yourself a good opportunity to win.
One-point game. Down the line for Michaela off the platform of her. Zumbek will swing away. On the approach and the kill. That was Molly Hennessy. Evening it up at 19. Holly Hennessy, beg your pardon.
Oh.
Pouet, high ball
Stuff
to Borak.
Block. Wow. That ball hung on the fingers and got denied like a rubber band.
Powers has been really strong at the net tonight.
She has been housing balls. Can't teach height.
2-1 lead for Golden West. Backside to Zubek. Chase down, first contact, Holmes. This is Hennessy driving a ball that is dug up by Ruiz. Borak's shot will be returned here by Hennessy. And she is able to throttle it in zone one off the fingertips of a diving Ruiz.
Man, Golden West really wants this to happen for them.
That serve was like a sinker.
It's do or die time for Santiago Canyon. So you got Golden West here, 3 points away from victory in the match, and their first win in 8 matches. Is exciting times for them, for Santiago Canyon, also a team who doesn't win very often. They came in here looking for an opportunity to maybe grab a win on a team who was down, didn't have their setter, and that's what we looked at the beginning. So we'll see if Golden West is able to close it out right here.
Have both teams coming in with only 3 wins on the year. Rustlers 3-10. Santiago Canyon 3-11. So from the timeout, it will be Madison Holmes from the line here.
Okay, decent pass, big swing.
Zoom back, two-handed up by Holmes, middle back. Powers knuckles it across, and Ruiz there in coverage. Hennessy pounds it through the block. Zoom back going off.
Save the side out. Nice.
Brazelton going middle to Hennessy, who takes off on 1 foot.
Nice hit. All right, they're trying to crawl back.
They sure are. 22-21. Smart placed timeout for Coach Griffiths. And make it 22-22 after that ace.
All right, let's see if Golden West calls a timeout here. No, he's going to let it ride. This is an important point. Oh.
And that one fanning into the net from Zumbeck. Just a miss hit. Borak, one hand up and returns. Brazelton with a layout there on the first contact.
Uh-oh.
Brazelton, Holmes collide.
They were lucky that that ended up being a good set. That could have been dangerous.
Backside to Borak, cutting it too narrow.
Match point.
So match point for Golden West. This is Michaela loading up. Powers down the line, and Ruiz scooped it up for
Not sure
Borak.
about that set choice.
Fires it right at Brazelton. That is going to be a double contact.
All right, can they side out to finish the match?
Aaron Haggerty standing back behind the service line. Will let it fly from the baseline.
Hammer.
Off of Haggerty. And ball game over.
That was a really good looking swing.
And after over a month without a win, Golden West achieves their 4th win of the year.
Just going down to get the interview.
They made it happen.
So go to head down.
Wow, and you can see the excitement on Golden West right now, getting their first win in 8 matches. A lot of good team camaraderie. We'll see if we can carry some of that into the next match as they get ready to play.
You need to keep talking.
So Golden West gets ready to play Irvine Valley next. Coming into an undefeated year, it was good for Golden West to get this win in now. Maybe they can carry a little bit of confidence going into that next match. But we had really nice matches from Holly Hennessy, who was originally asked to perform the setting duties going into the game. And then from there, she ended up playing on the outside, ended up getting the game-winning kill. So a real nice display from her, a real good job. And some of the other Golden West girls we'd like to highlight, we had some really nice blocks from the outside. Sophia Peterson, being out, she did a great job on the bench, prodding her team, wanting her team to do well. She wasn't a log over there. She made sure that there was some camaraderie going on, and that's really important. So a nice building block here tonight for Golden West. They had nice performances from Holly Hennessy and Madison Holmes, both playing on the outside. And Nicole Powers did a great job stuffing balls through the second half of the set. So Bill Lawler's got to be satisfied with the performance. Santiago Canyon had an opportunity there to take it to 5 sets, but Golden West was able to close it out strong with a 25-23 win in set 4. We look forward to seeing them play again against IVC not too far from now. So as we get ready to close up shop here at Golden West, we're going to grab some interviews with a few of the players, maybe grab one of the coaches. My partner Brian's going to go down on the floor, and he's going to grab an interview with one of the winners from tonight. So we look forward to hearing about that. So it looks like Brian's going to grab number 18, Nicole Powers, the right side, who was absolutely stuffing balls at the end of the game. She had a really nice performance, along with Holly Hennessy and Madison Holmes, like we said before. Setters were able to make it happen tonight for Golden West. Families out here taking pictures, grouping it up, and we're going to pass it along to Brian for the interview.
We're going to count them down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go with them.
The Rustlers are able to put an end to a 7-match losing streak, in large part due to the play of their captain in Nicole Powers. This match went into the 4th set. You were trailing 7-0 to begin. What about the resilience from your team that allowed you to come back in that 4th set and close this thing out?
I think it was just our energy. I think we all decided to mesh together after a 7 losing streak. We just wanted to put an end to it, and we all meshed together and played really hard, all our energy. And I think just like after every play, we just executed really nicely together. And I'm excited to keep going through the season and continue a winning streak instead of a losing one.
After a slow start in the 1st set, losing that by over 10 points, what adjustments did your team make to look completely different, a lot more confidence and a lot more aggressiveness in your attacks?
I think just that. We decided to switch it up and be more aggressive. We were playing a little scared and timid, but I think we all knew we were capable of it. Again, just energy. I think just talking to each other and, bringing it together and meshing together was really the way we decided to end the game and succeed. So it worked out really nicely.
When you think about what you had to overcome without your star setter in Sophia Peterson, what did you have to do to overcome that and make it seem like you could win without her?
Yeah, so losing Sophia definitely hurt us a lot. I think just coming into practice and wanting it more and more every practice, we decided, Bill put in 2 new setters, and we decided to put it together, and everyone worked together, so it works out.
Thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
That was Nicole Powers getting it done, and they will continue their conference slate on Friday when they take on Irvine Valley College. He's coming down too, right? I think are we doing one more interview?
Professor Carter.
Can you ask him if we're going to do an interview with Chris and I down here with like coach or something?
And I think we wrap for now.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So the camera is off the tripod, right? And then camera in the box, and there's a box going upstairs here, or the camera? Okay. I'm gonna be off headset now.